What's going guys, Zennosh here, and today in this video of Heir of Light I am gonna discuss about the glancing hit rate. So guys, you might be hearing a lot about the glancing hits, but I'm actually bringing you guys today a fact about glancing hit, like how does it really work, what sort of like damage reduction or sort of like advantage that you are actually gonna get or opponent is gonna get when the glancing hit rate is applied, or let's say the glancing hit actually pops up whenever you actually hit the opponent. Okay, so I'm gonna discuss about this in this video today. Thanks to Heir of Light Asian on providing some really amazing data for this one, and then I'm actually gonna share it to you guys. Okay, so let's get this started. First of all guys, glancing hit rate is something that you are actually gonna incur most of the time whenever you are actually gonna attack a opponent that has either a glancing hit rate buff or has elemental advantage to you. Like in this case of scenario guys, my main damage dealer is Fire Enoch, right? So whenever he's actually dealing the damage, there is a very high chance that the opponent is actually going to consider it as a glancing hit, the way that it actually popped out right over there. Can you see that glancing hit rate is popping out so frequently guys? Okay, so whenever you have like elemental disadvantage against the opponent, like this situation right over here, most of your attacks will actually land as glancing hit rate on the opponent. Okay, so the thing is that like, what does actually happen when the glancing hit actually gets activated? Okay, so first thing guys, it negates critical damage. Okay, so every sort of damage you are actually seeing right out there during the glancing hit are white numbers. Okay, white numbers. You are not actually seeing any sort of like like red numbers. Okay, even if your critical hit rate is like literally more than 100%, there is a very high chance that you are actually gonna miss that one out. Okay, like let's say for Fire Enoch right over here, his critical hit rate is really high, but still as his hit is actually really ended up as a glancing hit, guess what happened? His critical damage was totally cut off. Okay, critical hit rate did not really apply, so his damage actually came back to normal, and it actually doesn't end up right over there guys. Okay, on top of ignoring any sort of critical damage out there, what's actually gonna happen is that like the normal damage will again be reduced by further about 50%. Okay, about half. Okay, that's the situation right out there. I did some of my math and I came to close about like 45% figure. Okay, meaning like the damage reduction was about 45%, but I would really love to say about like half the damage was actually reduced during that time. So that's the case guys. So and what are the other things that you are actually gonna benefit, or let's say have problem with when the glancing hit rate will be up? Okay, so another problem that you are actually gonna face when you are actually fighting against this kind of like opponent, what's gonna happen is that like during the glancing hit guys, no sort of debuff can be applied on him. Okay, so especially if you are really trying to put your like dot servants, like let's say Fire Blavatsky in this kind of case, what's really gonna happen? I mean like she will really have a very hard time in landing her debuffs, okay, or let's say her dot skills right on this opponent. That's the case of scenario guys. Okay, that will be actually the problem in this case of situation. So you have to be like pretty much very lucky when you are actually trying to inflict a debuff, or let's say a dot skill on the elementally stronger opponent. Okay, and that's the situation right out there, but it doesn't mean that like they are completely immune. Okay, there will be like some sort of like small gap where they might not be actually able to trigger those glancing hits, you know, but whenever the glancing hit word will appear, the effect is that like that sort of guy will totally neglect, totally ignore that debuff. That's the thing right out there. So during the glancing hit rate, immunity. Okay, the next thing is that like lower combo chain rate. Okay, so that is a big problem. So let's say like even if your support servant, like let's say my fire speaker right over here has like more than 100% of the secondary mark activation rate. Okay, and the thing is that like he is meant to actually trigger that combo with the another servant, but thing is that like when the glancing hit will actually appear, or it will get triggered, then the combo skill, like the combo will, the chances of triggering a combo will be very very low, guys. Okay, now that's the situation right out here. So guess what is gonna happen? Like, so what are its application? Okay, especially in the PvP contents, guys, you are actually gonna suffer a lot, especially if your opponents are having a lot of glancing hits. Okay, because like obviously they are gonna take lesser damage. They are gonna be sort of like nearly immune to the debuffs. Okay, that's the thing right out there. And they are gonna be a sort of like like having lower chance to be like comboed. Okay, so like just being able to combo a lot actually makes a lot of difference in this game. Okay, that's the situation right out here in the Heir of Light. If you can actually capitalize and really be able to like trigger that combo a lot of time, like you can actually have a upper hand especially during the PvP battles. Okay, and if you can just cut that chance by really a huge amount, then that is the really great advantage to you guys. Okay, so that's the thing right out there. So again, 4 stuffs, guys. First of all, it neglects all critical damage. Okay, no critical damage will be applied during the glancing hit. Okay, that's the situation. The next thing is that like the normal damage will again be reduced by 50%. Again, further reduction, right? And number 3, no debuffs will be applied during the glancing hit. Okay, no debuffs. Okay, you cannot actually inflict any kind of debuff like attack down, defense down, dot skills, whatever there is. Okay, sort of like immunity right out that moment. Okay, and number 4, guys, it actually lowers the chance of dealing the combo on the opponent. Okay, combo meaning like the combo skill of one servant triggering the combo skill of another one, or let's say activating the secondary mark rate. Okay, that will be lowered by a freakingly hellish amount. So that's the thing right out there, guys. Okay, so that's the situation. Even though like opponent might have like elemental advantage, but that doesn't mean that like that opponent is gonna be totally having glancing hits all the time. There will be a sort of like a very small window in which he might be actually dealt really good damage, just like here. Okay, just like that one. There will be a chance that you will be actually able to trigger the normal damage. Okay, meaning like you might be actually just like how to say, get that glancing hit out of the window for a moment, and then like the normal procedure will process. That's the situation right out there, guys. Okay, so this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. See you guys in the next video.